ago. And it's called Take a Book, Leave a Book. And you can come and pick up a book out of there to read, and if I want you to bring another one and put it back in its place. So this is the Greenbelt along Powell River and Bullitt Park, or the right fork of Powell River along Bullitt Park. Bullitt Park is a historical site here in Big Stone Gap. It's been here many years, probably over 80 years, where the local football team has played for many years. Many state championship games and half-state championship games and district championship games have been played here. It's quite historic. The trail in itself makes a loop around by this right fork of the river. And down here in a little while we will intersect with the left fork and form one river, the Powell River. And we'll see that here in a little while. This is the part right here is quite shady and out of the sun, but it's not all of it is that way. But it's a very nice walk if you want to knock out a few miles, or just a mile, or just a half a mile. It's marked very well to let you know how far you walked, what the distances are. There's also some informational stations along the way that explain some of the local trees and what you see here along the trail. It is quite a nice little trail here that a lot of people make use of. I think you've seen the lady go by on the bicycle. A lot of bicycles, a lot of walkers, a lot of runners. It's quite nice. You can see now the first part right here, the first 1/10 of the mile marker, and then we have a sign that tells us this tree right here is the Ohio Buckeye, and gives a little information about that. We'll just walk along here and enjoy the scenery for a little while. As you can see up here on our right, there's benches thrown through right here ever so far that you can grab a seat on if you like. And I'll have to raise up over the fence here, but just the other side of the football field over there, you should be able to see an old log cabin over there. That's commonly been known here as the Girl Scout cabin. Built back in the WPA days, way back during the Depression. It's been used as many things, but it's currently managed and owned by the town of Big Stone Gap and is used as a community center. And then a little bit farther down here on our left, we have local Little League field and softball field. It is all part of this Bullitt Park complex that is quite nice and is having a lot of renovations done, and to my understanding, more renovations yet to come. And we come upon some more of the informational signs along the green belt that will tell us what we may encounter here. And we'll walk over to this one and see what it happens to say. And this one tells us that the tree right in front of us would be a yellow poplar, very common to this area and was highly used many years ago in the lumber industry as boards for building houses. It was one of the more sought after trees by the logging industry in this area. one right here, it's be referred to as a river birch. Okay, we're coming up on the entrance to one of my favorite parts of the greenbelt. And this little informational signs here will tell us about this little wetland area, how critical it is to the environment. You can see this is really right down at the river almost. You can't really see that much here, but over to our right, I'll slowly look over there. It's not uncommon, especially in the spring, for this area right here to be underwater, and especially when it rains heavily like it has this year. It can get pretty deep through here sometimes. This area is one of my favorite sections of it, primarily because it's always shady and a little bit cooler through here on a hot day like today is. It's in the mid-80s right now and a little on the warm side. But this area here is used in every year they have what's called the Grizzly Challenge, and it's something like a Tough Mudder or a competition where you run and climb obstacles and do a little bit of not much mountain running, but they'll run down by the river, and then there's a spot down here that they will cross over and with the help of a rope go up a pretty steep embankment here, and it's quite enjoyable. And I'm going to try to get some video of that this year to maybe put on the scene. We've got some more people on their bicycles here. It's a pretty steady flow of people on bikes on nice days here, and people seem to enjoy it. Some people will make several loops around. Basically right here is they'll clear out a path over through there and go up that embankment right over there, like I said, with the help of a rope. And hopefully try to get some video of that and have that posted as well a little bit later on. Okay, here we have one of the things that happens in nature. This sign was for a northern red oak that sat basically right behind that sign, and during a storm it came down, and you can see the damage that was caused by it, and the pavement that was hurt a little bit. So that's what happens in nature. Over here to our left is going to be a future addition to the Greenbelt area. It's going to be the dog park, where people can bring their animals to run and play, and they'll be contained in a fenced area. Be a nice addition to the park. There's a lot of people walk their dogs here as well, and you can see the project is being done by a young man attempting to gain his Eagle Scout. So it'll be a very nice project for the park here and for the entire Greenbelt project itself, which has been a continuous and ongoing project for several years, and is only recently being completed with the final loop actually through town. This part right here was actually my favorite part, where you do kind of have a little bit of nature involved. Now we're coming upon what's known as Frog Level Park, and you see they've done some cleaning over there, and an area that was overgrown has been cut out, and they're planning to do something there. I'm not sure what they have in mind. I've heard they have a couple options in mind. Baseball fields here, and there is a plan that says they're going to eventually build 2 competition fields here for Little League, and be able to host larger tournaments now. So this is just a little past the half-mile mark around through here, and we're coming back into one of the very sun-drenched areas. But you can see we got the gorgeous views of the mountains right there right behind us, and that is actually Wallens Ridge. Stretches all the way down through Lee County from here. It's named after a long hunter from the mid-1700s. Elisha Wallen was his name, and the mountain there that stretches all the way down through Lee County, and a creek on the other side of the mountain was also named after him, Wallens Creek. Quite a historical area through here as well. And we'll be coming up on now where the left and right fork, so the Powell River will join together and basically become one. And it will become the Powell River, which will run all the way down through Lee County and eventually go into the Clinch River down in Tennessee. The river here where it comes together was how Big Stone Gap got its original first name of Three Forks. The town, which was originally developed, was called Three Forks, and it was due to this Three Forks of the Powell River here. And some more information about the impact of industrial development and industry on the Powell River. And as we walk over to it, you can be able to see where the much smaller left fork comes in to the right fork and continues on west. And it's just around the turn right there. It will pretty much be running due west, and you can see the area up through there. Carrie and I have talked regularly about how this would be a nice little place for a maybe a small tubing business, or maybe some kayaking. It's not a very big river, and it's not very much an adventurous river, but it would be a fun little river just to float down. Little fellow up here beside the trail. Very young and seems to be more interested in the clover he is eating than traffic going by and people walking near him. We'll let you finish your lunch there. And we have another family of ducks who are enjoying the shade beside the river, and they seem to be quite contented to just let me stand here and take a video. I would guess if I had something to eat in my hand, they might not be so inclined to just sit there in the shade. Okay, we're now on the non-green part of the Big Stone Gap Greenbelt. You can see the Big Stone Gap Visitor Center in front of us here. That is just recently came online and is being used as a tourism center. You can gain information of a lot of things going on in the area. They have numerous functions. There's something about every night in the summer there with music, things for kids. They have a thing called Last Fridays, which is music, games, food, and they were doing a lot to try to create tourism in the area and here in Big Stone Gap. And just across the street in the big white building, that is what used to be the offices for Westmoreland Coal Company. Westmoreland was a primary employer of the coal industry in this area for many years. Of course, they have since shut down, and the coal business has pretty much since came to a halt here for the most part. And now the building just houses some offices, and I believe a dress shop is there right at this point in time. You can see done a nice job here with the visitor center. This at one time was a service station, and it was the last full service station. Okay, here we have the Harry Metter Coal Museum. There again, has been here for many years. It is operated by the town of Big Stone Gap as well. There's a lot of displays about the coal industry, particularly the early days of it many years ago, which was brings you on up through the present time. As you can see, the piece of machinery here in front has a lot there to be seen, and is quite a nice place to visit. And it's there again one of the many old buildings in and around Big Stone Gap, and tells a lot about the history of what actually built this area and made it what it is today. Okay, we're on now on the final leg of our journey around the Greenbelt. This section was just finished this year, just the week prior to July 4th, and you can see it still has some grass to grow in it, but they've got it in good shape. They did, for July 4th, had kind of christened it with a 5K run walk around it, and I believe the route we take ends up being roughly 5K, a little over 3.5 miles, I believe, something like that. But this is the end to it. And as I said, you can walk a half a mile and turn around and walk back a half, or you can walk 2 and turn around and walk 4, or make the loop through town and get roughly a little over 3.5. Either way, it's an extremely nice walk. During the day like it is now, there's a whole lot more traffic out, but in the evenings, it's not bad at all. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of the Big Stone Gap Greenbelt, and hope to do more for you soon.